Hi, Amy. Thank you for attending the Tennis Academy at Harvard. Let's take a look at your forehand we videotaped, and we're going to play it in regular speed right now, and you'll see in slow motion as well too. Now, we're showing the forehand before we worked with it, and then we'll show it after we work with you. So there's your forehand, and I don't know if you noticed, we're going to play it now in slow motion. In general, it's an arm motion, and if you look at it, we could use more body unloading. So let's look at it right here, and when you come back, what you really want to see is weight more or less on the back leg a little more, and I'm going to show you what we mean by here. So we want a little weight down here on that leg, and that will that's what we mean by loading. So let's play it a little more. The racket swing is also very straight. If you saw that, it was a very straight swing. And we'll play it again here. We're going to look at it one more time. And again, this was before. The racket is straight back, and you're going to see this go more or less in a straight line. You are trying to load on the right foot right here. Let's see the path of the racket. Okay, that time you got a little lower. But it's more or less, it's going to add a little topspin, but you really want more of a low to high swing. And that would help your forehand a little. You also notice that we're not really rotating. You could rotate with the shoulders a little more. So let's look at this one right here. Okay, and you can see clearly that that time the swing was a little flatter on the high ball. So if we rewind a little right here. Okay, and notice you're still facing us. So the things that we were going to work on was how you use the body and how to get a little more topspin. And one of the most important things is using the body. We see Li Na on the right, and we're going to compare you with her in a second. So let's play a little more. And now we're going to compare you with Li Na right here. So here's your backswing. Your arm is straight far away from you, and there's a little weight on that right leg. Let's take a look at Li Na right now. We're playing her. Notice she's holding the racket with both hands. This is one thing that you want to note. And this allows the loading to the right leg. She doesn't have the weight on the right foot yet. But here we go. You can see she's got the weight on this leg. Her racket is more or less vertical, and her left arm is out here. So that helps her keep turned and the weight on the back foot. So right now, your racket could be more up here, but you could also have more weight on the back leg. And you can see the shoulder turn is a little different. So the simplest thing to work with first is really the loading phase, and we mentioned that. So when you turn, if you watch Li Na right here, she's holding the racket, and she shifts the weight to the back leg. So she holds it, and the weight shifts to the back leg. Now the last piece you're going to notice is that her swing is more angular, and you're going to see as she's facing us, she's going to actually rotate as she strikes right here. She comes off the ground, and now look at her body position. She's facing away from us. And let's take a look at your stroke right here. Okay, your contact is a little late. You can see it's well behind. Li Na's contact point will probably be out here, where you already made contact fairly late with the ball. And you're facing us still and facing the net. So you didn't really rotate as much. You probably rotated maybe 90 degrees. If you notice Li Na, she rotated probably 180 degrees. So now we're looking at your your forehand afterwards, and we're going to take a look at some of the loading here. Oh, you see that foot right there? And we're going to play it in slow motion anyway. And you get to see you're trying to use the right leg a little more right there. He's trying to get down on that right leg. We're playing at a regular speed. This is after working for about 25 minutes on the forehand. And we're now going to play it in slow motion. So let's go forward ahead and look at one more time in slow motion right here. This is after your lesson. Okay? That time you tried to step in. And we're really not worrying about stepping in. We're concerned about getting weight on that right leg to see if you can achieve, going to rewind Li Na's situation, right this. Right here. That's the picture you want in your head, right there. So if you can get the here and then here, two big pictures. Okay? And you're opening the stance. Notice you're a little more open to the net. The loading hasn't really occurred, but you could put a little more weight on that leg. But we're going to look at a few of them. This is only the first forehand. Let's see if some things. Now you're probably trying to get a little weight on the right leg here. Contact. And pretty much the same. Let's take a look at it again. Let's see if you try it again. Let's see what happens here. Okay, you're keeping the left hand down. Okay, now your hands are a little closer together. So this is a little more similar to Li Na. Before you would separate the hands, but I don't know if the hands will separate. Yep. Okay, so here we see the left hand is straight out here. So you're keeping that position a little better. And you are trying to load. You see this leg? The right foot is actually in the air. This is interesting. The right foot is in the air. So you are trying to get the weight there. And that right foot's in the air. Okay, you can see the knee flexion. So this is you're trying loading, and you can see your left foot's in the air. It's in the air, and the right foot is taking most of the work. There we go. And now that's a reasonable loading position. You try to reach out. Now, notice again, one of the things is you try to step into that ball, and Li Na here, right here, she doesn't really step in. She pushes off that back foot, and now she just basically rotates. Let's take a look at it one more time. Okay, you're trying to close the racket there. I think I was discussing maybe you can close the racket. See that what you're doing right there? That racket face. Let's look at it right here. When she takes a racket face, it's going to close away from us. But see that racket face is a little different from what it did before. So I think you're playing around with it right now. And that's where in the loading position, that racket face will probably close a little. Should close a little. Let's see, look what happens right here. Okay, both hands on the racket, which is good. It's a little longer. Okay, and let's compare the position here. It's a little more similar to Li Na now. Okay, the racket face is a little open. And there you try to get a loaded position. You can see Lena really pushes off her foot there. You see that? She's down, and now she's pushing upwards. Okay, your racket face is a little open. Okay. All right. So let's play it a couple more times. The important thing is try to get a little more rotation, keeping the left hand into right here, as Lena does, both hands on the racket, and let the right foot take most of the weight initially. This will create more power. So you're trying it right there, okay? And that's your version loading, but you can see there's some differences. And let's play Lena right here. Okay. And one of the differences, you can see that you're facing the net where Lena is rotating fully. I wouldn't worry about that too much, as more trying to increase the loading, keeping that left hand a little more sideways. But anyway, good luck, and thank you for coming. And we'll work it one more time. There's a little more loading, a little more C. Okay, Amy, thank you for coming, and good luck with your forehand and tennis.